What is up, guys? MiniBean75 here, and today I'm back with episode 5 of how to build an NFL stadium in Minecraft. Today is going to be just a couple easy parts, basically over the top of our two main sections of seats on each of the long sections. We're going to build the overhang with the lights, and then basically there's just a tiny little room on the other upper deck that we're going to build, but that's not till the very end. So for each of these sides, for the overhang sections, for like where the shade area is, basically we're going to take some quartz blocks and we're going to build it up 3 rows on the corner, and then we're going to go in every 8 blocks. So I did it at this corner section here. That was 8 blocks, and then we go through and we count, 8 in every single time. Just go up with 2 rows, up 3 blocks. So we go in, like I said, 8. We went up 2 with 3 rows. Then we count in again, 2, 4, 6, 8. Do it again. And basically you're just going to go all the way across and do the same thing. It's going to be a little bit off. The very, very middle one is going to have 9 on each side. I'm going to show you that here in a second. So here's when you do it all, this is what it's going to look like. You're going to end up with 4 blocks in the middle. You're just going to break 1 row on each side. So that very middle one has 9 blocks on each side rather than 8. But that's what it's going to look like. And then basically we're going to take some iron blocks, and then we're just going to go through here and follow the quartz wall below it. You're just going to go into every time, and until you get to the point where you match where the glowstone row is at the bottom here. Like I said, follow the quartz below this until you get to the glowstone section, and then that's where the part you're going to follow all the way around. So I'm just filling it in here. This is where it's going to be our edge. And then basically, like I said, just look straight down, and we're just going to follow the glowstone. So like I said, this ends here. Then we're going to go in 2 blocks, and then just follow the glowstone all the way across. Do it like we did before, where you have to look at the rows to kind of see measurements and stuff. Like I said, when you look straight down, you can kind of see exactly where you are up above. But yeah, so just go all the way through and fill it in with glowstone. So I'll skip ahead till this part's done. All right, now that we have that side or that done all the way around, like I said, in the front section, you follow the glowstone. On the edges, you follow the quartz in 2 blocks every time, all the way up to the corner. Now we're going to take our quartz blocks, and we're just going to follow the quartz all the way around the back side, just to kind of close it all in real nice. So as you can see here, I'm just going through, following the quartz wall that's below it. And like I said, just go all the way across until it's finished. All right, and once you have this section done, you're just going to take your iron blocks and you're just going to fill this entire thing in, so it's just one big flat sheet of iron all the way inside of here. So I'll just skip ahead till that's done. All right, and once we finish that up, this is what it's going to look like here. As you can see, like I said, just a big, it's just pretty much it's just for shadow, for shade for the folks up in the upper decks. Now we're going to take some quartz blocks and we're just going to fill this section in. We've got we got 3 different rows that are empty here. The top row, we're going to put a row of quartz blocks, as you can see here. So we just want there to be 2 rows available in between quartz and quartz. So I'm just going to skip ahead till we have this one done. All right, now that we finished that up, now we're just going to take some of the gray glass panes, the stained glass panes, and we're just going to go through and we're just going to put some glass down. So I'm going across here first along the bottom row and just filling it in with glass panes. And then when we get to the very end here, we're going to turn around and we're going to do the exact same thing all the way back, but we're going to do the top row. So pretty easy to just go back and forth and do that. And once we have that done, now we just need to fill in these sections here that need a corner. Just put the corner to the outside. It's just easier to do it that way. So yeah, as you can see, I'm just going through here, building it towards the outside. We don't want that corner to be inside. Now that we've got this done, this is what it's going to look like. So now we're going to go over and we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So I'm not going to show you that part. Just skip ahead, follow the same steps, and finish that. Once we have that done, now we're going to take some of the polished andesite, and basically we're just going to build the section for our lights. So you're going to build 1 block on the edge, and then you're just going to go through along the bottom, stick it out 1 block, and just run all the way along the bottom of the entire front of the iron blocks that we just did here. And once we have that done, as you can see, we built our other block on the outside of the other side. Then you're just going to go through again and go all the way back across along the top and do the same exact thing. Basically, you just want 1 space in the middle there of the iron blocks, and the rest of it you just want to be the andesite, just like this. So then what we're going to do, is we're just going to take some glowstone and just basically go every other block inside there. It doesn't matter how you do it. This is just supposed to represent lights. So I just go every other block. It's what looks best. Every stadium looks different, so it really doesn't matter. You just have to look and see what you're doing. For this stadium, this is what it's going to look like. So I'm going to skip ahead here till we have the lights done. And this is what it's going to look like when it's completely finished. Now just go through on the other side and do the same exact thing as we did over here. So I'll skip that part and let you guys do that. All right, now that we're done with that, all we need to worry about doing now is basically we're going to build there's support poles with some like metal wires, I guess, that kind of keeps everything supported. Basically, we're going to do that. So we're going to take some polished andesite, and we're basically going to build the poles. So we're going to start on each corner, and you're going to just build this all the way up like this. You're going to do 3 blocks around the outside, and then 1 block here on the iron blocks. The tall one is going to be 7 blocks, and then around it is going to be 3 blocks above the iron. So just like this, as you can see here. And we're going to do the same exact thing all the way across how this one's set up. So eventually this is what each one is going to look like with the iron bars as the wires. I will be showing you guys how to do this. This is where I was just kind of trying to figure it out myself. But this is basically what it's going to look like. So the poles are going to go on every section that we have the 2 rows of quartz along these windows here. So here I'm just going through and kind of working it out myself, figuring it out. This is, like I said, what we're going to do. You're just going to put the andesite on each of these 2 rows of quartz. And then the poles are basically just going to stick up above that. I figured everything's already spaced out. This is what looks the best. There's quite a few poles on it already. So yeah, just go through just like this and just cover up with 2 rows along each of those. Any row like this that's a corner row, you're going to do it with 3 blocks instead of 2. And then you're just going to build 1 row or 1 block that's taller. So here, like I said, I was kind of trying to figure it out. So like I said, the tall one is going to be 7 blocks. And then the other blocks surrounding it are going to be 3 blocks higher than the iron bricks right there. So I'm just filling that up, putting in the 3 there. So here's the tricky part. The center one that I'll eventually show you is going to the tall part is going to be 2 blocks rather than 1. But your tall one, you always want that one to be on the side facing the center. So as you can see right now, for the way we're facing, every time the tall one comes up, it's on the left side. That's how you want it to be. So if we were on the other side facing this way, they're going to be on the right side. So this is basically the way you're going to do it. And here's where I was kind of trying to figure out the center section. So I go up and I build this section here. I believe the one I just did was the center one. And I go through here and I'm like, okay, well, I know for sure that I want this one to be on the right side because we always want that to face the right. But I was like, the center one, where am I going to put it to make it look good? So I decided to make the center one a double. So just like that, like I said, the center one's a double, and then every one on whatever relative side is going to face in towards the center. So I'll just skip ahead till we have all of them done. All right, so we're just finishing up that last one there, and this is what it's going to look like when we have all of them done. Like I said, it should make a little bit more sense now. The tall pole, the smaller section, is always going to be facing the center, like I said, and the center is going to have 2 blocks. Now we're going to go through with our iron bars, and we're going to make the wire sections. So this is really easy. It kind of seems daunting at first, but it's really, really, really simple. So I've already got the one done over here, so I'm going to go over here and show you on the next one how to do it. Basically, from the second to the top row, you're going to do 1 little row there, then you're going to go down 1, over to the right, and back 2. And then we're going to do the same thing. Down 1, back 2, over 1 to the right, down 1, back 2, over 1 to the right, and so on. Now you're just going to keep doing this until you just get to the point where it hits the iron, this big floor of iron blocks, and just do the same thing all the way across. You always want to go, whenever you move to the right or to the left, depending on what side you're on, you always want it to move towards the center. Just like we did it with the poles, same thing. So on this side, when we're facing it, we're facing the poles from the field. Our center's to the right, so we're always moving in 1 to the right. So I'm going to skip ahead here till we get to the center block because that one's just a little bit different. Okay, so now that we've got all of them done to the left, now we're going to do the center one. Like I said, the center one is probably the easiest just because there's no moving to the right or to the left. You do literally the same thing, except you don't move to the right or the left. So we built 1, then we went down 1, back 2, same thing. We just went down one. We're going to go back 2, down 1, back 2, and just go all the way down. And then like I said, so for these poles to the right that we haven't done yet, you're going to do them the exact same way, except you're going to, when you move down one, you're going to move over to the left, not to the right. So I'm going over here, doing the same thing. Like I said, do 1, down 1, back 2, 1 to the left. So I'll just skip ahead till we have all of the wires done. And there we go, just finishing up the last wire there, and this is what it's going to look like. Like I said, they're always just going to move in towards the center. Pretty self-explanatory. Now we're going to go through, and you're going to go on the other side and do the exact same thing. So follow all the same steps, and we'll have the other side done. All right, now that we have the other side done, just finishing that up here, now all we have left in this episode is to literally just go and build our little room on this section over here. So that's going to be really, really simple. Basically, like I said, it's just a little quartz. It's going to be a little quartz block room. Basically, you just want to put it in the center. So if you remember from the episode 1, this front wall here was 50 blocks long. So all we need to do is count in 25 blocks. So here's where I'm getting 25. Now I'm not going to move side to side. Just stay straight, and you're just going to slowly move forward and go all the way up till you get to the very top. Now you're going to go to the very top, and then basically just break a couple blocks like that. Now we know where the center is. I moved in 2 blocks to the right. Now I'm going to go out 2 blocks to the left. Right now I've got this little room to be 6 blocks wide. It's actually going to end up being 8 blocks wide, as you can see here. Basically, I've got it to be 6. I realize that 6 isn't long or isn't wide enough, so I'm going to break these 2 blocks and then break these here. And like I said, go out 1 more to the left, and then we're going to go out 1 more to the right and just do the same exact thing like that. Now we're just going to go through and we're going to build 3 rows up above the quartz wall that we already had. So I'll just skip ahead till we have that done. All right, now that we have that done, we're just going to take some of the flat stone half slabs, and then we're just going to go through and just build a little roof, and then we're just going to take some regular glass panes and just make a little window. It's really, really easy. This room literally for our build has really no relevance. But I'm not sure what they actually use this little area for. I don't know if they use it for like the play clock guy or what exactly it's used for. But basically, yeah, we're just going to build this little room just like this, and that's what it's going to look like. So now we only have one thing left to do for this episode. On this same upper deck section, we're just going to build a couple rows of stone pillars, basically just to make it look like this section's not floating. So we're going to go through here underneath, and like I said, just build a couple rows of just stone pillars. So basically we're just going to get some stone blocks, and once we have the stone blocks on this back quartz wall here, we're just going to go in 4 blocks, and on rows 4 and 5, that's where we're going to build our first little tower here, and you're just going to build it straight up just so that it all meets. Then we're going to go over here on the other side, and we're going to do the same exact thing. You're just going to go in on the 4th and the 5th block, just build your little tower there, and then just close it down, and that's what it's going to look like. We're going to build 2 more towards the center. So with these, the way you're going to do it is along this front section, we're just going to count in 14 blocks on each side. So here we've got 14 blocks. We're just going to slowly move up like this, and then we're just going to mark it here 14 and 15. Then we're going to head over to the other side, do the exact same thing, count in 14 blocks, go 14, 15, mark them. Then we're just going to go up. And as you can see, we're just going to build the basis of our 2 sections, remove those top 2, and then just build the tower up. And then over here, I'm just building up the tower again, and that's what it's going to look like. So now we've just got those 4 towers in there, so as you can see, it doesn't look like this upper deck section is floating. And with that, guys, this is going to be episode 5 of how to build an NFL stadium in Minecraft. So far, like I said, that you guys got to see here, we built the overhang sections of the upper decks, along with the lights, and then we just built this little room here and made sure that this upper deck section doesn't look like it's floating. So stay tuned for the next episode. I believe the next episode is where we're going to build our scoreboard and a couple big sections that they have set up so that you know, for fans to walk into the stadium. I believe that's going to be the next episode. So other than that, guys, I just want to thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you hit that like button down below. You have no idea how much it helps me out. If you want to see some exclusive time lapses and other exclusive content, guys, make sure you head down in the description to my Patreon account. I just updated it. If you didn't watch my welcome video, check that out. I just updated it. There's a bunch of awesome perks for you guys. Otherwise, check out my social media accounts. Those are in the description. Or check out my online store if physical merchandise is more your bag. Take a look at that. Or you can just head over to shop.spreadshirt.com/minibean75. Otherwise, like I said, links are in the description. Stay tuned for episode 6. Have a good one, guys.